Mike Peters, formerly of the Alarm fame, made a return visit to BBC Wales Studio One after a period of 10 years. He was here to record his new album Flesh and Blood, which includes his memorable song A New Wales, which many heard for the first time at the Voices of a Nation concert last year. Mike has an incredibly loyal following, however, and decided to invite fans along to the session as well. The story doesn't stop there, though, as the music for the album has been incorporated into an outrageous comedy written by the Swansea playwright Helen Griffin.
Phil Clark, who was the artistic director of the Sherman Theatre, asked me if I'd like to consider writing some music for a script. And he gave me the script for Flesh and Blood. And I basically spent one Saturday afternoon reading the script, and as I was reading the first scene, I got an idea for a song straight away and a piece of music. And I thought, rather than wait and read the whole thing, and I thought, wow, sounded really good in my head, so I thought, I've got to get it on tape straight away. So I had a little Walkman that I record things on.
And he wrote a song just, you know, responding to how he felt, having read that first scene, and so on and so on and so on. So he didn't preempt the ending, he didn't know what the ending was going to be. I thought that was brilliant that he'd done that.
And about a week later I arranged to meet with Helen and Phil Clark at the Sherman Theatre. And we just got on like a house on fire straight away, and I think Helen was pleased with the way the music was.
His response has just been so fantastic, you know, and this whole new art form has come out of something that I'd written, which I'd never anticipated at all. So, yeah, I'm hanging around really, trying to be a groupie, but it's not working.
Desperate to do backing vocals, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm determined to do some backing vocals.
We'll stick it on in a minute.
Yeah.
It's all a game, it's all a game, a bastard game. Mike has always got something to say about Wales, and like the play, even though the play comes across as a comedy, it's got a lot to say about contemporary life in Wales today. And I think Mike's music has got a lot to say, and always has had a lot to say about contemporary life in Wales. So I gave Mike the script to read, and, well, what's been fantastic is that from that moment on, Mike has been obsessed with this play, hence the album Flesh and Blood.
You know, I thought it was a brilliant play. As soon as I was reading it, the language is very powerful in it. It communicates some very big messages, and I felt compelled to write music for it, and I think there's some great music come from it, probably because I'm not trying to write about myself and how my own life is, and you're trying to write about these characters, and the sort of source of the lyrics is coming from outside my own circle.
It's all a game, it's all a game. Here we go, a bastard game.
Mainly Let It Be was an album I've loved, and wanted the feel of that record to sort of be an influence on this record. And I love the way that there's chat in between songs, and it's the band live in the studio with the strings, they're very human. And so I decided to recreate that as a feel for the album. And then I thought, well, we're going to do it live. We're going to have the radio and the TV there. We might as well have a whole audience there. So I put it out on the internet site to the fans and invited them to come in, or at least 150 of them to come in and sit in on the sessions.
I found out about it by clicking on the internet on the website, and also a couple of friends told me about it.
I come all the way up from just outside Liverpool. It's about 207 miles. So it took me about 3 hours this morning to come up in the rain.
I just didn't want to miss out on something like this. It was like going to be such a sort of a special occasion. It was like to see him actually record a new album and that.
Particularly interested in today, the way he's come back to the studios in Cardiff after, I suppose it's about 10 years.
I've been following Mike Peters' music since the early 80s. basically since I heard like 68 Guns on the radio. And I've sort of enjoyed his music ever since.
And then there's his acoustic work. I'm praising
More
the
about
man
it
here.
than me.
Praising the man here.
So,
I don't need on strings on that one, then.
okay, well,
So what
I'm
next?
just going to fade them in as they come.
What have we got left?
We've got any
We've
other
got
ones
Choir
coming.
in 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I think this is a nice realisation of all our talents. Everyone concerned, the playwright, the arranger, the writer, and obviously we've got all the actors to come, we've got the Morrison Orpheus to come, and everybody else. Combining all those elements, to me, is probably one of the best of Wales, so I think it's going to be a really proud project.
For me, it's been really important because it's helped me reconnect with Eddie MacDonald, who was my songwriting partner in The Alarm. We've been through a lot together. We were next door neighbours in Rhyl when we were 4 years old. And through all the good times and the bad times, which we've all experienced in our lives, it's great that our friendship is still strong. And it's really nice that we can come back together and work on something that is from our past, but has also may lead us to some kind of new future as well. A new wind's blowing over the hill and down the mountainside.
It's probably about 10 years to the, nearly, not 10 years to the day, but 10 years ago that we actually recorded here, first of all, when we did New South Wales.
From the fairgrounds of the north to the southern city street. The original session to record New South Wales was on the 26th of June 1989, and it was recorded in the middle of the recording sessions which became the Change album for The Alarm. The record was a very rock album, and all of a sudden there was this song that was a bit out of place with the piano, but I thought it was a very important song lyrically for the album. The album was using Wales as a microcosm for changes that were happening on a global scale, and I knew lyrically it had to be on the record, but it had to have something more. South will meet with north. I kind of thought it's got to have a choir on it. We've got to interact with Welsh culture from the past. It is the need for a new Wales.
We were on a tour of Canada. I was sitting in a house in Toronto and I had this call from Gareth Morlais, producer, saying, do you fancy doing a record with the rock group Alarm? And I said, who? I'd never heard of The Alarm. Much to my great embarrassment afterwards, but it seems there was a North Wales group as well from Ystadyn. Anyway, I said, yeah, fine, you know, we do all sorts of music. So I said, when?
In 2 days' time. So I gave them 2 days to come up with a choir, book the studio.
And I thought, oh my goodness me. So anyway, we got the music, we did it.
And the session went brilliantly. It was nerve-wracking, it's tense, just like today.
It was really exciting. We had a good time doing it. It was very hectic. And the time has flown. It's just absolutely flown by. And to come back and do this again now, it's just really, it's brought back a lot of great memories.
Oh, someone hear my prayer. Oh, someone hear my prayer. It was something special, and it threw up a hit record, and a record that people still remark about it today. It's still reverberating down the years, and I thought now was a good time to go back to it. Now we have the Welsh Assembly, we have a new awareness of Welsh culture, a new pride in Wales, and I think the song can still speak today as it did 10 years ago and still have a certain kind of importance about it. Someone be my friend.